Some pretty positive news that's coming out of Canberra this morning. The government announcing that we do have stocks of vaccine, 25 million doses will be on its way. If it's successful, of course. That's a pretty big caveat there. What are your thoughts on this?
Economic game changer, and it is interesting. We've heard this morning that pensioners won't get their September pay rise, and that's because there's no inflation. Inflation's actually gone backwards. First time in 72 years of CPI collection data that inflation has been negative, and therefore there's no way in which a pension increase can be paid. And so when you think about it, and I was actually interviewing Professor Peter Doherty, he's probably Australia's foremost experts on pandemics, just yesterday. And as I went through, what's going on in Victoria versus New South Wales, and is a New South Wales type solution going to eventually open up the economy, it became so apparent that the only way this economy will get back to normal is when we are able to say there's a vaccine, and therefore states can open up the borders and we at least can travel around the country. So this is a big game changer for the government to lock it in with the Oxford University-linked AstraZeneca drug company. And that really is, as I say, it's a job saver, it's a business saver, and it's an economy saver.
Well, I mean, AstraZeneca, should we be loading up on the stock now, Pete?
I think you might have followed a little bit late, mate.
I've missed the boat. Again.
It's interesting that CSL will be producing it for us here, and its share price has been starting to move. And I think if you've been reading the Switzer report, you will recognise that I thought CSL looked like a real good buy.
Hey, also, Pete, the S&P 500 at a record close. It's amazing at the moment, the share market doing so well when, the economy is sputtering along. Yeah,
Pete, what this S&P 500, it's now at a record close. So it effectively says the coronavirus crash is now gone. We're now in a new bull market in the US, which has seemed absolutely crazy. But there has been three probably good pieces of news. Corporate earnings better than expected in the US, economic data is better than expected, and also the vaccine news. All this has helped the markets go up. But on top of that, it's the FANG stocks that really have driven the S&P 500 to record closes. If you took them out, you would find that the US S&P 500 minus the FANGs, it's probably still down 15% or so. The real economy still is suffering from the coronavirus. These unbelievable stocks that we've used during the coronavirus close down, they've done unbelievably well, and they've driven the S&P 500 up.
Hey, Pete, why won't pensioners get their September rise?
Yeah, well, that was linked to the bottom line that inflation has fallen. It was the biggest fall ever, Pete, and that's basically, if you don't get a rise in inflation, you don't get the pension rise. And that's, and of course, the government would never take pension off pensioners, but they can't give a rise. So in a sense, if we get great vaccine news coming up this year or early next year, and the economy starts to rebound, we'll get inflation and pensioners will get their rise.
All right, interesting. Peter Switzer, always good to chat. We'll chat to you again soon.